Qua.
Le quoi?
Je ne sais quoi.
Le quoi water? I don't
Um,
have any waters. I like the one. There's the one that has like caffeine in it now. So it's kind of like a La Croix or a Waterloo, but it has caffeine. I don't know the name of it. My wife found some at the store the other day. Also, Topo Chico has a seltzer because everyone has a seltzer. I had one at the track Saturday after I was sick of beers. So
you want to guess an over under for me? Just ballpark this for me. Over under how many Topo Chico seltzers I drank this summer.
so
Ballpark it.
the actual alcoholic seltzer,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, like 70.
Oh, well over.
Yeah, I didn't even
Well
know it
over.
existed until the other day.
I think I was probably in the 250 range ballpark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also just because we're stalling because we don't want to talk about this game, I
This
I
one could have
had
used a Manningcast.
I had Madras lentils for lunch and tikka masala for supper. I have bubble guts. My tummy is not in a good place. This whole place just smells like curry and farts right now. This room is like 10 by 6. I'm living in just hell right now. Yeah,
um,
this
you
game
know what?
stinks. This game stinks, and
Yeah.
some of the decision making on both teams has been questionable. The Steelers looked real good with the run, with some of the certain runs, some of these pulling runs where they get him off guard and not like caught somebody off guard, but he's running off a guard or a pulling guard. It seems like, and all of a sudden, Najee's 10 yards down the field, but they had some bad running plays too, and of course
Yeah.
Ben got sacked by just being immobile. The at least 10-yard sack by Fields where he just didn't feel the pressure at all. Up the middle was rough. There was a lot. Yeah, this is the best I have ever seen yet. Halftime play. Go talk to your family.
Go spend some time with your loved ones.
Yeah, go see the kids. Go read the kids a
um,
story. I want this
this
game
has
to get
been
rained out.
rough. This has been rough, man. I mean, Steelers are playing fine. Bears are shooting themselves in the dick a lot. Don't love every time they go to Matt Nagy camp, it's hysterical. Like they are doing him no favors when they decide to cut to him, and he looks like he's just completely lost out there. Don't exactly get the concepts. You said the off guard running. There hasn't been a lot of off guard catching them off guard. There might have been off guard positional running, but it's been a lot of predictable shit too.
Both sides.
That final drive where the Bears finally got some points, where they made a two-score game. That drive was like it was so effortful. It was so hard. It was so hard for them to get points. I just can't see this, all of a sudden breaking in a different direction here for these guys. I also feel like a deja vu all over again. Like this is almost exactly how the Bears Browns game played out. Like super, super similar. Bears obviously not doing a great job of pass pro. Fields doesn't have a ton of pocket awareness yet because he's a young quarterback and they're not giving him the easy plays. Allen Robinson has a couple targets, but none of them really looked all that likely to generate much offense. He has oh no, he only has one target. Never mind. I think they must have wiped some away from the penalty.
So I think he had 2 catches or near catches that on plays that didn't exist due to penalty on accepted penalties. So they've targeted him a couple times. Justin Fields, but they've targeted him a couple times. He is kind of the forgotten man in this offense, which is, we thought maybe finally after 10 years of bad quarterbacks, he was gonna the chosen one was coming to the Windy City and was gonna find him and make him an all pro again. And it stinks for him right now. So, the Bears actually have moved the ball. Just classic Nagy red zone play calling. The one pass that I thought a really good play by the defender. It was on the right side of the end zone the way you look at it from the pocket. And I thought he had it.
Great play by the defender.
Yeah, the defender must have got a little piece of it. He ended up dropping that. That stinks for any Bears backers because really looked like he caught it anyway. And then boom, you see the ball in the turf. Couple of really questionable plays down by the goal line. Obviously, the big sack that took him out of field goal range. A couple really bad penalties. Like this totals 18.5, 19.5.
Here's the big question. No.
Like, what do the Bears do?
The big question is, is this a game where, like the Bears-Browns game, where the Browns continue to press, continue to dominate defensively, and just put that game away with the solid second half win? Or is this game more like Seahawks-Steelers, which you remember from primetime a couple weeks ago? God, I hope we don't. Are the Steelers done in primetime at least, please? That one was Steelers completely took their foot off the gas, let the Seahawks right the hell back into it. That one went to overtime, 2020. Which of those two seems more likely? I mean, were there any takeaways from the Bears offense that you're like, oh, they can capitalize on that and continue to make that work for them in the second half, or is this a Steelers or nothing kind of a play? Oh, we get Steelers 2.5 now if we want it, by the way.
Man, if the Steelers hold on, they're like the 5 seed.
Yeah, I hate it. They're not going to, though. Look at how hard their schedule is.
Yeah, I know their schedule is rough down the stretch.
Plus Ben Roethlisberger continuing to
but their competition
on the field.
Oh man, if you'd have told me some of the Chiefs are on the outside looking in, that's hilarious. And the Steelers are up there.
Well, Steelers get the Lions next week, by the way, and they are big old favorites.
Yeah,
we talked about that game yesterday.
So Steelers start with the ball. Bears taking some steam here. Under 2.5 field goals. I mean, do you buy back on the Steelers at 2.5 and just assume that the second half ends like 3-0?
Well, I mean, I think the likelihood that there's another turnover is non-zero. TJ Watt's probably got another 2 sacks in him.
Son of a bitch.
I know it. I mean, the Steelers haven't put away anyone this whole season in the second half of games. They came back against the Bills week 1. God, dude, the Steelers' schedule has been bizarre. 3 straight losses. Then they beat the Broncos, beat the Seahawks in overtime, beat the Browns.
How bizarre.
We know the Steelers aren't going to they're not going to continue to press offensively. So it entirely comes down to, does the Steelers defense continue to just own the Bears, own Matt Nagy?
Who has more passing yards, Fields or Roethlisberger?
It is a dead straight tie. Trick question.
Yeah. Trick questions abound this last week. Both men with 63 yards. Ben, obviously, with a touchdown.
Both teams have 29 plays in this game. Both teams have had 6 drives.
Turnover, the turnover, the big difference. That first drive for the Steelers was nice. Like they marched their way down some really good running plays. I don't know if that was more scripted or what, but
Bears are committing more procedural penalties too.
Quinn got home once, but you're noticing the lack of Mac. Is that a thing?
Yes. I can barely remember Mac. It's been so long since he made a difference in a game.
I remember when that was such a fun trade. Oh, yeah. I'm just looking at this. I don't know how to back either team. Like, it's one of those where I guess you say, well, you don't want to back either team. You want the under. No, I'm worried about bad turnovers from these quarterbacks.
18.5 is as low as I've seen a second half total in. I don't know that I've seen anything this low.
No.
It's been years. Primetime second half total 18.5. Oh my god, dude!
Maybe
I think we have to take
Miami
Steelers
in like 03. I
think it's and this is a non-weather game too, for crying out loud.
I know. It's funny. Like we shouldn't overthink things. Like yesterday you talked about some things, and I listed off some stats for the Titans, and I said those aren't things that are conducive to an over. Of course, the under hits. We just right off the bat, I said, let's take the 8.5. That's way too many. Of course, that hits. We got cute with it,
well, we almost got it.
And it would be a chance I'd take again. Absolutely, McVay getting aggressive at the end in a dead game, after taking that 22-yard field goal was really something. So
here's why I
let's
think
not
the
get
play
too
is
silly with
Steelers.
it.
Ready? I think here's why we play Steelers.
Give it to me.
Steelers get the ball 1st.
Mm-hmm.
They've shown a willingness to go for it on 4th down. Najee Harris has had some pop tonight. The Bears defense is overrated generally because people think of the old Bears. And really all we need, I think, to get the Steelers home is for them to score on the first drive, because not a field goal would be nice, but if let's just say they get a touchdown, Bears coming back? No, that's the game. There's going to be there'll be an abbreviated next drive, a turnover, sacks, that kind of stuff.
Exacerbate this pass rush / O-line problem for the Bears.
Yeah, we're already in a bad game state for the Bears. It could get worse quickly in the second half here. Steelers are going to try to shorten the game anyway with the run. Bears haven't done the worst job defending the run today, but they don't have a ton of depth. Those big bodies are going to get a little tired. Time of possession is basically dead even now, but if the Steelers get 2 drives that keep those guys on the field in the third quarter here, then that could be the end of the game here. I think it's Steelers or pass. What do you think?
I'm down.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have a strong opinion. Don't have a strong opinion. I will ride with you though.
I'm in a 2.5 here. It is also, that's on its way back up. It desperately wants to go back to 3.
Some nice two-way action here. That's fun.
Yeah, that is fun. Somebody put a big old bet on Bears +3 at flat number, and then got a Steelers -2.5 at a flat number also, which was probably a pretty good bet. Steelers 2.5 is up to now -126. Okay. All right, let's go Steelers. Up now it's at the 3 -124. Ooh, that was a big jump. 2.5 -126 to 3 -124. Oh, that was just an indexing problem. Now it's 3 -103. All right, that looks about right.
Yeah.
All right,
buddy. Speaking of Chicago teams, the Bulls have taken a lead now.
Oh, really?
Oh no, those broken legs are getting tired in the fourth quarter.
Oh, weird.
Oh,
was this some sort of a bad spot for them?
I guess
I wasn't really paying attention.
Might be. Did they factor in the fatigue?
Did they? That's a good question. Zach LaVine has 20 points. I like the Bulls closing 5, and the Bulls. These same guys were really solid in the opening stanza. So hopefully they continue to press. DeRozan is having a really nice season for the Bulls so far. He's playing at an All-NBA level. Probably going to be 3rd-team All-NBA if he keeps this up. God, yeah, he's having a nice, efficient game tonight.
You know who's a stupid team? The Minnesota Timberwolves. No sense can be made of that team.
They're beating the brakes off of the Grizzlies. Yeah. Holy shit. Wow.
Did not see that coming. Every time I look at a score, it's like everybody who talked about that game was just completely wrong every time. I don't want any part of that. So, for the rest of the week here, somebody brought up teasers. It is a really good Wong teaser week. There's a bunch of those that make a lot of sense. It'll be fun to get into those. We are in overtime, says Casey Brown, who looks like a cool roadie for some sort of bluegrass band in his profile picture there. And I would take that as a compliment if I were you.
Great pick. Yeah, people questioning DeRozan All-NBA. I'm saying like 3rd-team All-NBA. They'll have the Bulls. The Bulls are going to be a playoff team in the East probably. They're going to have I don't know that people expected DeRozan to be this impactful so far. Let me just tell you where I have them ranked right now. Or I want to see where I have DeRozan ranked on the Bulls. See if I have him as their most important player.
The Duke Kentucky game. My play for every Duke game is to not watch it, so I don't have to put up with the insufferable goodbye tour.
It's not good. It's not good. It's not going to be very watchable. Speaking of watchable, this game would have been better if there were a Manningcast. I think we all agree. And I was curious this morning because I thought, I wonder who the guests are in the Manningcast. And so I Twitter searched Manningcast, and there was about 500 tweets all about the curse of the Manningcast. Have you caught wind of this?
Yeah, they're like 0-6. Like if you're a current player and you go on, you're like 0-6.
It's 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 it really is made news because Josh Allen was the latest to fall victim to the Manningcast curse. That was an improbable loss, obviously. People could not help but connect the dots because I guess this was something people were talking about beforehand.
You shouldn't be able to get a roughing the passer on a man that big.
You should not know.
Honestly, so like
he
the
really
roughing,
he really sold it though. He crumpled. He
so
crumpled.
You know what? All these roughing the passer calls have been so shitty, but
yeah.
like a bunch of them have been. It's funny how you feel completely different when they're for you. It's like you just keep your mouth shut.
You're
Yeah,
like,
like
you
I
can't
guess
play
you know
don't play dirty.
But yeah, well, not only that, it's like it's they'll come back. You'll have them come against you. So like when you get them, when you get a roughing the passer that goes your way, you just take it. You just say, okay, I'll take that because I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get one next week. And yeah, Ben fell down hard. Great acting job by Ben.
I won't complain when next one, and then you do complain. Let's answer this question
I'll have
from
my
Rico.
college basketball stuff on Brown Bag once I get to betting it.
Let's talk to Rico here. Would you rather an elite quarterback or an elite coaching staff? I think you have to take a quarterback. Like if you were going to give me, let's see, who's the right comp here? Dak versus Stefanski. What do you take, Dak or Stefanski, Andy?
I'll take Dak.
Yes, right. Pretty straightforward. Because the elite coaching staff like a Belichick's going to give you a couple generations, but that's like all-time great. That's not a really elite. I think realistically, the elite quarterback helps you in so many more ways to win and to just have a chance. You could have the best coaching staff in the world, as we saw with the Patriots last year, and a quarterback that couldn't throw a 10-yard pass, and they had no chance. So there's an obvious answer to this, and I think you know what the answer is, but I'm just curious what you will say.
Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? It is clearly one horse-sized duck.
Clearly, yeah.
It would still have a very narrow neck, and I would cut it. I would cut that damn thing's head off. I've slain many birds in my life, mostly chickens, but a duck is not too dissimilar.
Ooh, this is maybe a better comp of elite quarterback versus elite coach. Yeah, Mike White or Cliff Kingsbury. That's a tough call. Yeah.
Ducks are kind of mean. Geese are mean. Swans are maybe the meanest bird. Those things can get nasty. Watson. I feel bad for Watson. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. How about
I mean, and the case against it is, and you can say what you want about Drew Brees, but all the nice things I've said about the sleazeball Sean Payton, who's made really good use of backup quarterbacks for the past few years. Just when he's had injured stuff, he's injured. When he's I'm trying to read something and talk at the same time. That's going very poorly. When he's had quarterback injuries, he's done very well, bringing another quarterback in and letting them run the offense, tailoring it to the backup, letting them just go out there and not do too much, get the games, let them, all the cliches, let the game come to them, take what the defense gives you, all that. But it's kind of like exactly what happens. And, Teddy and like the tight end and even Simeon have looked pretty good. So, and maybe we should give some credit to the rest of that offensive coaching staff, really.
Yeah. That's fair. There was a account, Signed Collectibles, asked a bunch of great questions off the top. I'm just going to blow through them. You ready? Heisman update, Andy. Heisman update. What do you got?
The running back for Michigan State, Kenneth Walker, is kind of high. He's kind of high in my opinion, but if they beat Ohio State,
which they won't, right?
Yeah, like
they're going to be like 14-point dogs, aren't they?
Well, I know, but Ohio State hasn't been super impressive of late, so it basically, like, if you're betting Kenneth Walker, I guess you're kind of betting Michigan State money line there too. I think that Michigan State money line is going to be a bigger number.
I think it'll be a better price. Yeah,
I'd grab a little of that, and maybe both, and like one of those, he could beat Ohio State, and then they could still screw up and like lose to Wisconsin or something in the Big Ten title game, and then
we've seen that before. I think
looks stupid in it or something, and they don't get it. So I have Stroud tickets. My Pickett tickets are done. I do have a little bit of shitty number on like Bryce, which is, it's funny how Bryce has just been the favorite this whole time and just nobody talks about him. He's been like consensus favorite for 10 weeks and he just never comes up in the conversation. It's like you just gloss over. Well, Bryce is still favored, but here's the next guy. It's like the Oklahoma thing. Try to make that happen. I guess the media really likes him. It's a sexy one. That offense is fun. I feel like we see something goofy happen with the Big 12 teams every year though. So it's fun. We have a good race this year. I'd love to see Stroud get it, but mostly for financial reasons.
Okay. All right. I have no idea. Who wins the AFC West? I have an opinion on that. What's your opinion, Andy?
I'm going to give it to the Chargers. I got to look at those schedules.
Oh, boy. Chargers and the Chiefs both have very winnable schedules late. It'll come down to that December 16th game in LA. Chargers are coming in off of a game against the Giants. Chiefs will be coming in off a game against the Broncos, I want to say. Oh, no, Raiders. Yeah, I mean, have you seen enough? Or I guess one of these two things is probably true. Either the Chiefs are still getting wins even though they're playing bad football. And that's a bad sign because eventually they'll get right. Or what you're seeing from the Chiefs is likely to continue for the rest of the year, and they really are going to be a bubble playoff team. Which of those two feels more likely to you?
I mean, they've dug themselves into kind of a damn hole here, right? Like,
not really.
And I guess, the fact that the Chargers didn't run away with it.
The Vikings are in a hole. The Chiefs are not.
I guess, yeah. I'm leaning more towards the.
Hey, Allen Robinson's sighting. What are the chances?
Yeah, what are the chances? Third down, too. Under pressure. Geez, semi almost to safety there. I'm leaning more towards the Chiefs getting better on offense, but not looking like the Chiefs of old. Like somewhere in between. Like, all right, this offense is competent.
Okay.
But it's not going to be the explosive shit we've seen. But the way they're just covering too deep here and taking away a big chunk of the deep part of the field and letting them try to do stuff like a normal offense would do, it's not working. Okay, get what right? What are they waiting for? I think a big part of it is just like teams are playing defense different against them right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, Tyreek Hill's not as dynamic making plays right now because he's dealing with some injuries, I would say. The defense is going to presumably get more cohesive. They're going to go up against some easier competition. Defense is a reflection of who you've played, much more so than it is, that you take the metrics and run with them. We've learned that the hard way. Ooh, huge play for the Bears.
Yeah.
And nope, ball came out at the end there. They are giving him the catch. Wow. They gave it to him on the field. It's going to be tough that they take that away. Yeah, not looking good. Steelers are playing like they played against the Seahawks, letting them right back in the game. That one actually might be coming back.
Somebody asked, let's, because I've seen a couple Odell questions.
Yeah. Where does he land?
There were some comments from Parcells, Carroll today that were, I don't know why I put those two together. There were some comments from Pete Carroll today that made me think they're going to put a claim in.
Seahawks?
Yeah, I guess.
How does that help you?
I don't know. That it doesn't seem like people had talked about that. I don't know if it's a great fit. You're getting your quarterback back. You need to go balls out here to get this done.
Man, remember when the Chiefs signed Josh Gordon? Did he ever end up actually playing for them?
Yeah, he plays.
Josh Gordon?
Yeah, remember that interception in the end zone that went off the helmet the other week?
Oh, right.
That
Yeah.
was a Josh Gordon overthrow. It was supposed to go to Josh Gordon. It went through his outstretched hands and hit another guy in the helmet.
That's right. That's
Mr.
right.
Unlimited wants on Odell. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, Odell is Odell just kind of living off his early years where he had a couple of crazy catches and had some marginal success? I don't know if he's that good. He's a good receiver. I don't want to say he's not a good receiver. He's a good receiver, but he's certainly not as great as the legend he thinks he is in his mind, I guess. This is good. Just what Seattle needs another. There was somebody who made this joke. Like it was like, can you imagine? God, who's the third? Who's the receiver I like there? Not Metcalf,
DK
the other
Metcalf, Lockett.
one. And somebody had a tweet. I wish I could find it because they deserve credit. But it said, "Can you imagine Lockett, DK, and OBJ all out there just run blocking together?" Yeah.
Hey, so to answer your question, Odell Beckham Jr. was elite for his first 3 seasons in the NFL. Something happened to him in 2017. He only started 2 games, played 4.
Something nautical.
Was that the boat trip? Jinxed him? He hasn't been the same since the boat trip. He came back for 2 seasons, had relatively full seasons, although dealt with some injuries. Never reached the level that I had him graded at for his first 3 seasons. And then last year was obviously incomplete. And this year he's been like completely useless. Some of it his fault, some of it the way they were using him. I don't think he's going to make a difference one way or the other. And I kind of hoped if I had a team that I was excited about, that they wouldn't get him just because I don't love the energy he's bringing to the locker room. What do you think?
Yeah, if I'm like a fan of a team, I don't want him. It brings a
Presumably,
weird vibe.
yeah. I mean, if the Browns can't figure out how to use him, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know what's complete or in. They upheld the call in the challenge here, but I don't know what's complete
Stands
or incomplete.
as called. Jeez,
I
dude.
feel like that's a catch and a fumble.
That was.
He had it for like 3 steps. He never lost it. He was always holding it. He's kind of bobbling it around, but it's not like losing it. I think when the Bears score here, I'm just going to go to bed.
Well, your baby Bulls look good. Let's stay up and watch them.
I might have parlayed the Bulls with the Suns too. So I got to. I'm never staying up for the Suns game. Jesus, what is that in California?
It is, yeah.
It is.
California, Arizona, yeah. No, it is in California.
It is in NorCal, as the
Sacramento.
DPJ, and yeah, Donovan Peoples-Jones has stepped in nicely, even while Odell was still on the team. He stepped in nicely and played very admirably for a D-back. Green Bay, no cap space. Yeah, there's some teams that just can't do it financially. Like, I think a bunch of the teams where he fits nice just can't get it done financially, which sucks for them. Bulls are off the board, up by 14 with 4, up by 11 with 4.
4 minutes to play.
Well, let's keep it up, Bulls.
Well, I mean, Bears made a couple of nice passes. I mean, Phil's made a couple of nice throws in this drive. This is going to be funny when they go to overtime, like the Seahawks game, and somehow the Steelers win by 3, I guess. A lot of folks out there I know took the
Bears.
Last best number on the Bears because the Steelers got bet pretty aggressively. There's a flag down. Is that coming back? I think that's coming back. There was some holding potentially.
I'm gonna call that offensive holding.
TJ Watt draw hold.
Probably.
Yeah. I don't need to see him get any more stat sheet. No, it was low block, so it's a 15-yarder.
Oh, rough.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
It was an attempt to take TJ Watt out low. He didn't even get him. They threw the flag anyway.
Somebody says, is this according to Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay needs to make some cuts and then grab him? I don't know. Low block, huh?
Does they call this? I mean, would we're
right
expecting OJ? We're expecting Odell Beckham Jr. to have some decent chemistry with Jordan Love, or what? I
You
don't know if
can't
their
dive at a
games really
guy's ankle.
complement each other.
He didn't even. You know what sucks about that call?
He didn't
Like
even take him out.
you have to call that when you dive at a guy's knees like that, or like go out of your way, and it's not just a straight cut. But he didn't even get to him. It was just like an attempted low block.
They did
Like
not
he didn't even
give.
touch
They
him.
did not
Well, that's a
give.
holding.
Yeah.
They continued.
They will not give Justin Fields a flag. They will not give him a flag.
I know it was shoulder to shoulder, and then the helmets came together on that first pop. But like 22 other quarterbacks in the league
That was
get that
nasty.
call.
That was nasty.
Sutton, I mean, just he was sliding, and maybe, but I mean, other quarterbacks get that call.
Like in this quarter, earlier this quarter. That was a false start on the Bears, and they didn't call it. Down at the 4, do you think they go for it? Is Matt Nagy a gambler, or does he make a 2-score game, a 1-score game? There goes the field goal unit trotting out there.
Yeah. You ever wonder that about Rivera? Like, was Riverboat Ron just like turned out he was just random Ron?
Yes. 100%.
He wasn't gambling. He wasn't counting cards. He was just accidentally pulling aces.
Yeah. So. Yeah. That's commonality. When guys get they're going with their gut and they're being a little risky, and then they get variance breaks in their direction, and then they're like get that reputation for it. That's happened a bunch of times, but Riverboat Ron is the most obvious example. There's a couple other guys that are fake sharp like that too. It's not the only one. Random Ron.
I like that random Ron. I kind of like that one. I still jury's out for me on down in Dallas. I don't know if McCarthy. I think McCarthy actually has some people telling him to be aggressive in some spots. I want to believe that. And yes, Nagy should be fired for not going for that.
I gotta probably walk back my random Zach Taylor a little bit. It does sound like he does. At least he's trying to really lean into the analytics sincerely, not just sort of my back's against the wall, so I'm gonna do whatever I can do.
My neck.
I'm surprised that they didn't call that. I'm surprised they didn't give Fields that call.
That seems like a dangerous play, the where he's falling and you're hitting him in the back like that too, up near the head. Like I've seen it where a guy comes in wide and just like fingertip grazes a quarterback's helmet, and they'll call it because contact to the head. You know, you can get away with a lot when you're a ref if you want to call something like this. So, all right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go die because I'm completely full of curry and lentil.
Real quick, did you play any college basketball for the opener?
No, God no. I stay away from that.
There was some major steam on a couple sides that our friends liked.
Yeah, I mean that happens every year.
You're not even going along for the ride.
Yeah.
All right. If you say so.
You know, I don't want to be a naysayer or shit on anyone because those guys all do good jobs. But it just feels like some of those big steam spots, those always just fucking split. Like whenever I've tailed it early in the season, I've never had good luck with that early season steam stuff.
What was the steamiest?
I mean, just a couple were, and I don't know if a lot of people could get them. WinBet opened really early, and they had some numbers that were just off. So, like, I don't even want to call that steam. Those are just rogue numbers because they're booking their own stuff now.
Okay. Yeah, I saw Belmont pick out to 3.5. I saw Niagara 20 down to 16. That's your guys, Purple Eagles.
I don't know about them this year.
Oh, wow.
They're going to be I think they're going to be kind of bad at times.
Oh, really?
Have limits started out this low? Yeah, limits are usually low for the day before.
The likes of Chris, they were doing to win a K and then to win $550 on the extra games.
Extra games are tough. There's paper heads where it'll be 1,000 on or 2,000 on games and then like 250 on extras. Like you can see some really big disparities in those extra games. God, they did pop them in the head there. They keep showing this hit. Conference winner futures, I kind of stayed away from that this year. I've seen a few people post some stuff.
I think the refs are going to give a makeup call at some point for the.
They owe him one, don't they?
Yeah, I mean they're showing the Reek clips of them just like really leaning into the
Dixie State plus 40. Dixie State second year up here now.
That was a deeper pass than I can remember seeing Roethlisberger throw for a while. Pittsburgh scores a touchdown here. How does this game end?
Probably with that final score.
23-6.
I don't. Do you think you see a ton more of this?
24-6.
The fact that both teams had a pretty nice. I want to walk that back. That was not a nice deep ball. That was an underthrow.
No, he put way under
everything. And he put everything he had into that. Yeah. Like he probably hurt himself on that play. I wouldn't be surprised if he sat out a play here. They did hand off on that play.
It was embarrassingly predictable and buried in the backfield. Your Bulls get the win, Andy. Congratulations to the Bulls. They get the win. Suns also off to a little bit of a hot start.
To my point, the both teams having a nice deep one get home in their first drive, or in the first couple drives, probably wasn't something I saw coming. Phoenix off to a nice start. Golden State's off to a nice start. I'm off to a nice evening at home. I'm gonna go.
All right, man. I'll let you go. Thanks for staying
chill.
We'll check you on Thursday.
I just need some Pepto, man.
Good luck, Steelers.
Oh my God, Minnesota's gonna lose.
Let's go, Steelers. They are?
They're also only up by 1.
What? They were up by like 20. You know what, Andy? You know why?
Oh, you